Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies, where I'm going to give you the low down dirt on the first episode of Life After Lockup. All right, my lovelies, let's get this ball rolling with Amber and Puppy. I must say that Eric's daughter, minor daughter, is a love, okay? Her babysitter contacted me to say, hey, my daddy's on TV, and guess what? Here's proof. Here's Tracie Trendy Show when I covered Eric's story. Now, with that said, if Eric's minor daughter is watching this, please continue to watch but mute. Read lips, maybe a little bit, and then when I move on to the other couples, then you can continue. Or maybe you already know how your daddy is, so it may not matter. But anyway, that's just my suggestion. Okay? Now, I took copious notes. Now. It appears as if Amber told TC that Puppy and Eric are doing some kind of street pharmaceuticals, if I must say. And she told him this off camera. Allegedly, it seems, because that's everybody's thinking that. And now she doesn't want to admit it on camera. It was very awkward. She gave that awkward smile, like a little nervous smile, saying, please be quiet. But according to TC, he was very adamant. He couldn't keep his big mouth closed. He did not understand the assignment. And also, he didn't give up because he is so much better than anyone else. Now, whatever. I'm with Puppy because if you're out on the street and I call my mom up and she lets you stay in my spot and you can't find it in your heart to let me crash on the sofa, please. And I don't understand Amber and her MAGA boyfriend. They are out of order, my love. She's not a good friend to Puppy. Not when they're with men. When they're attached to men, they're not good like that. And I don't think Amber is straight anyway. So, and Puppy lets it know she desires Amber. But anyway, Amber's not a good friend to Puppy as long as there's a man in the picture. First, she called Eric's wife completely out of order. Then she tried to choke Puppy. Out of order. And now we learned that she's telling January 6th what's possibly going down with Puppy and her man. Out of order. And Puppy's the one out here apologizing. What is Amber trying to do? Is she trying to break up Eric and Puppy? So she will have Puppy pining over her? Anyway, it's a no man pan for me. If Amber, I think she subconsciously wants Puppy. Puppy's already laid it out that she wants Amber. So I think they're better together than with these couples, these men. Okay, you got, especially that MAGA January 6th. No man pan. Now, Amber, this man doesn't like Puppy. Why would you say something like that? He knew you too, or you had a thing in the po-po. And this might be his best revenge. He's acting like, I don't mind you go out. Don't come here. But I don't mind you going out and being friends. As long as you bring the tea to me so I can sabotage. That might be his revenge. So I get that he wants to separate the both of you guys from possible street pharmaceuticals. I get it. And I'm sure there's something in the contract that Puppy couldn't be filmed in the house. That was probably his thing. Now he wants to put them on blast, Eric and Puppy on blast. On mere speculation now. Because he got to have receipts. And he better watch his back, just saying. There'll be a time when you'll need another favor too, Amber. And I don't think January the 6th will stick around. Because I did a little video. You had a little pop-up little thing. You're trying to sell your wares. And he didn't even show up for that. Loves, watch that video. Amber's out here ticked off because he didn't show up. Nobody showed up on his behalf. So, Amber, you got to know what side the bread is buttered on. Moving on to Taylor and Chance. Loves, it's the credit cards again. And why is Chance hiding these credit cards? Me thinks, now this is suspicion now, because he did have some out in the open. Then he went and had some in a box and went in the bathroom. I'm thinking some of the names on those credit cards might have Taylor's name on it. It might have her kid's name on it. And now he can't pay them. What a moron, okay? We knew We knew he was a moron. Heck, even Taylor knew. But she just sat there, got pregnant, engaged, and let it happen. So I think somebody's name is on those credit cards. And hopefully it's not the poor children's name, because he's going to ruin their credit before they become of age to even know what credit is. Now, moving on to Sean and Sarah. This whole scene was kind of fabricated to me. I mean, you have to stretch your imagination. Her mom put up the sex swing, right? Right? And you're telling me that Sean never ever went into the bedroom the entire time he was at home. Yeah, right. Sure, Jan. I don't believe that. No. So moving on to Lindsay and Blaine. Blaine's driving up here in Affinity SUV. It's not the latest model, but hey, it's kind of clean. And she's mad that she dumped Deontay for this guy. But I'm like, don't worry. Deontay doesn't have any money. He doesn't. His car's, looking to be repossessed and eviction and all that. So I don't know what happened to the black Charger and his pickup truck, but now he's swinging around in an Infinity. And Lindsay has nobody to blame on herself for going all in with Blaine before knowing all of the details of his charges. But she has to kind of know that they're all in the same world, so he can't be that clean. Heck, she's not clean. She's got warrants. She has to suspect he had something attached to him. So it's time for her to dial it down and take a break and kind of evaluate the situation, talk it through with somebody else, because you can't trust. If you're making bad decisions on your own, then you need to consult with others. There's nothing wrong with consulting with others, especially when you have a history of bad decisions. Now, moving on to Derek and Monique. I'm trying to catch my notes, and now my vision is going whack. Let me move it up a little closer. No, I'm going to sit right here. Okay. I don't believe for 1 second Monique didn't get a test if she thought she was pregnant, okay? Because Sharp passes out these pregnancy tests like candy. Remember when Puppy had 10 of them? And now, I also do not think she can get pregnant at her size. I know it's not impossible for her to be preggo, but it's definitely impossible for us to think she's not tracking her period like she's tracking Derek. Okay? Talk about it. Now, I will say, Derek has his relationships. I think they got 2 separate relationships. Monique thinks she's in something. She's ready to take a piece of no man at all. So that's what she's willing to accept. And she's going to kindly look the other way while Derek plays these little hijinks on her. But when she told him, I think I'm late. I'm thinking, why did he say that she was trying to trap him? Wasn't he trying to get engaged with her? So he straight up said she was trying to trap him. I'm like, just a moment ago, just a few mere weeks ago, you're putting money down on an engagement ring. So, but I don't think Monique is going to leave him. No. Because Monique seems to think all men got some major deficits, like Derek. Derek sticks around. According to Monique, she hasn't had anyone stick around for too long. So Derek is hanging in the wind longer than the most. So she's going to keep him. And there's another thing. She's talking about she's tracking him through his phone bill. And I'm like, I'm not paying for any man's bills, let alone a man that I'm not together with at all. So why are you paying his bill when you guys were separated, broken off? Even when you're together, I wouldn't pay. Moving on to other things, the Big Mama thing seems, he calls her Big Mama, but it seems as if it's kind of like a nickname he gives her and she's okay with it. So, I guess. Another thing I had a problem with, okay, he buys her gifts. Number one, if you're going to give me a gift, let me open my gifts. Don't just reach in the bag and show me. Let me open my gifts. Another thing, I get only a candle, some flowers, when I'm out here spending major bucks, and I just get a candle, and whatever else is in the bag, and flowers. No. No, no, no. Not if this is a breakup and trying to get back together. You got to do better than that. You got to do better. And Monique, you need to demand more than that because you shell out major bucks. And this is a trying to get back together with you. And it's just a candle and whatever else is in that little bag that he's pulling out. He doesn't even let you open it. Oh my gosh. Moving on to Justine and Mike. I got a lot to say about this. So just sit back, okay? You know what? Let me get my glasses because I wrote down a lot of notes because I'm gonna my goodness. Because I think Monique and I'm not Monique, Mike and Justine like each other. I do believe that. But sometimes love is not enough. It's not enough. So I mean, you just gotta hold back and kind of like if it's there, if it's honest and true, it's gonna stick around. So I don't know why the rush is. You love this man, fine. Now, I suspect that Sharp Entertainment not only pays bonuses for pregnancies, but they also pay bonuses for marriages. Okay? Because everybody on the freaking show gets either engaged, married, or pop up preggers. So there's a bonus somewhere. Just my theory. Just my theory. I'm entitled to have it. So anyway, Justine and Mike. First, I thought I was on the wrong channel or there was a commercial or something because I see Justine and Mike in crossing guard clothes. I mean, if they're going to wear work clothes, they might as well get a job and work. Okay? Now, family time. Justine is so happy about this family times. It seems as if half the kids are missing, and those kids are Mike's children. So, with all this talk about being stabbed in his junk in front of her kids, I mean, really. Okay, let me back up. She says it's family time. Obviously, she's not considering the whole family, just her part. And then he comes out talking about his junk got stabbed in front of her kids. And they only went to the self-defense class that the family time is about because Santana is getting bullied. So, okay, that's more ammunition. Your stepdad talked about he got stabbed in his junk. Now, Justine is a pathetic pick-me bird who was spoiled all her life and expects the world to evolve around her wants and needs. This bird is a one-trick pony who falls head over heels for a man, gets knocked up real quick, and then is surprised that it blows up in her face. She's sorry. Oh, I didn't get food, or I was surprised. Oh, yeah. Right. Okay. Get on some welfare and feed your kids. But I do, or, mom is always the backup. So I'm not falling for that little sob story. Now, this bird is one trick pony. Let me go back. She falls for the men, knock up, then surprised that this whole fantasy she developed in her head is not all that. Then it's rinse and repeat with a different guy. To me, it's a sign of insanity when you keep doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. Now, I feel bad for her children because this 4x4 drops everything, job and home, to be around a man, even if that means moving her kids from state to state. Now she's doing that with a new bun in the oven. And she's surprised that Santana is getting picked. Santana just plucked him and moved him to another school. So I think they've been in Pennsylvania for 3 years, a little under maybe 3 years, or at least 3 years, and they're moving again. But so he doesn't know. I think he doesn't pretty know these kids that well. I mean, his classmates. It's only been there 3 years, and he's being bullied. And I would think I'll be up at school every day if our kid is being bullied, but she gets called. I'm like, nah. We're going to have to do something better than this. But it seems as if her priorities are a little changed or different. All right, because there's no way my kid being bullied. I'm getting all these calls. If I'm to believe Justine. Next, Justine is surprised that her child is having problems, all right? So she doesn't attribute that to uprooting them from their stability. So just to make it easier, she moved her kids just so she can visit a man that she's never met in the free world. And she doesn't seem to go down to that school. They'll be seeing my face every day if my kid is being bullied. But in the meantime, she marries and gets pregnant within a month to a felon. Then she wants to talk about how hard it. She wants to talk about how she is just like her son and doesn't let in people easily. She doesn't let people in easily. I'm like, what the heck is she talking about? What the heck? I mean, she cries that it took her years to have a father time with her children. This one event that Michael did with her kids, she's so like, I don't know if it's gonna last. This is so I guess it's like the unicorn to her to see a man with her children interacting with her children. And but this father time comes at the expense of his other four children not seeing their dad. They told Michael, don't have other kids, don't have another baby, but he does it anyway. He's just as selfish as Justine. Now, he could do that to his blood, he could do that to hers. And she should have stayed in Rhode Island and visited him in Pennsylvania, because that's where Mike's family and her family originates, in Rhode Island. They're all over there, even the baby daddy. So why don't you stay in Rhode Island and just make that long haul up to Pennsylvania if you must see Michael? Now he's paroled in Pennsylvania, away from his family. And what type of sense does that make? Wait, okay, wait. Let's get better, because the word on the curb is, now it's not verified, but it strongly suggests that they moved to Vegas. Kids are rooted again. And now Mike is further away from his kids, if we're to believe they're in Vegas. In the meantime, Justine is attached to Michael, all his little club appearances. She's going to everything. I don't know who's watching these kids. What's her oldest daughter's out there, moved out. She's starting college in Nevada. Good for her. So I don't know who's watching the minor children. They're not. I mean, they could possibly watch themselves. You know what's odd thing is, Justine said she waited 10 years to have a kid. Well, her youngest child, I don't know the youngest child's name, but he's 9 years old. So how did you wait 10 years when your youngest is 9? I'm like wondering, did she get the child's age wrong, or did Sharp Entertainment get the child's age wrong? So anyway, back to them. They're possibly in Vegas. So now he's across the country away from his kids. Now, if he were any type of man, he would not put his kids before his dreams of being a rapper. He would never have requested to be paroled to Pennsylvania. He should have been requested to go back to Rhode Island. Now the problem is worsened by Tweety and Big Bird. That's Justine and Michael. Does she not remember her bird tricks that got her in this position? Now, she's taking her kids, hopping around the country. And this is a different man they're with now. And they probably still have trauma from all her past relationships. And she probably does too. That's why the tears are popping up, because she was thinking about, well, one didn't treat the other one like fair. But Justine only cares about keeping the man and getting what she wants at this point, because why is she hopping around from man to man? She better check herself, better yet slow her butt down and talk to a therapist, really. Because she's acting like a teenager, really. You would think she took a post down, but she was saying she'll take the baby and they'll all be matchy, Mike, her, and the baby on the road. And some people were like, well, you got other children. And she kind of deleted that because there was a little discussion in her Instagram. I didn't copy it, but I should have, so you guys can see that. Because she's kind of like, she's got like I don't know. She's like a teenager and doesn't think about the other kids as much as she should. Okay? I do think she loves them, but she's kind of distracted at this point. She's obsessed, I think, with Michael. And I guess she was with all of the men. Remember, she had a poster of Michael in her room. And not only that, she bragged about his toenails and whatever, what his junk makes. She keeps it all. And doesn't seem like a mature thing to do. Like, oh, I got his toenail. Oh, I got his you know what. And she's coming across like a groupie. Even she's traveling around, to his little appearances like a groupie. I'm like, wait a minute. He says he needs Justine by his side, so keep him in line and everything. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, eventually you guys are going to have to part. Somebody's going to have to work or do something. You have to be a mature enough of individual where you don't need someone to monitor you to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. But loves, the delusion is real. The delusion is real. All right. So I'm just wondering. So she's got to walk the line with him so he can keep him in line. And I'm like, well, what if you don't? What if you have to stay home? What happens to her and the kids? Does he go back to prison? Does he go off with another woman? That's a shaky foundation. If you can't spend time apart to know that the trust is there and that for Michael's sake, he's just wanted to stay in line, not necessarily stray, but she keeps him he needs her by his side. And I'm like, you're a grown ass man. Those kids need her by their sides more than you do. I'm just saying, my loves. All right, I'm going to end it right here. You know what you got to do. Subscribe if you have not subscribed, my loves. Let's dish it out, all right? Drop a line below. Share and care if you like, as well as hit that notification bell, all right? My loves, I'll check you all out on the flip side, and you know we're going to go down in the comment section, all right? I'll check you all out on the flip side.